What's up, everyone? AJ here on AJ's Heli Journey. So, I did make it out to the field yesterday, but I didn't record any video because I really wanted to focus on getting the tail, set up properly on this heli. And because, although I had it set up before, I'm still relatively new to some of the advanced setup. So I really just kind of wanted to focus on it. And I've learned a lot. And I'm going to share some here. Now, when I was at the field, I can't stress this enough. One of the benefits of being part of a really good club is that as I was doing the setup, a couple of the um, club members there, great pilots themselves, just, without even asking, came in and to help me out. I want to shout out Dimitri. I don't believe he has a YouTube channel, but I also want to shout out Billy, who does have a YouTube channel. I've mentioned him before. I'll post a link to his channel in the description. Both of them were kind enough to, help me kind of troubleshoot what the issues were. And as always, without their help, I probably wouldn't have been able to nail down some of the issues. So, anyways, I'll give you a quick rundown of what happened. So, first things first, if you remember back, I had stripped out before I even want to address any of the head speed tail issues I had with the head speed. I stripped out the gears on I stripped out the gears on my on the heli, both here in the front and the torque tube gears in the back there. So I had to replace that. When I did that, I guess I found out that the tail wasn't all the way in. And the reason I even found that out was that when I took it apart, I replaced the gears and then I put it back. These support rods wouldn't match with the hole. They were forward a bit, which means that this was not all the way in. And because of that, I did put it in, and that kind of changed the geometry of things. And so it also affected the length that this rod, the servo rod, pitch rod for the tail had to be. So anyways, because of that, I went back to all default settings in the fiberless unit, to kind of start from scratch and, fix the tail from there. So that brings us to yesterday. Went out to the field and we were having some pretty big blowout issues on pitch pumps and so on and so forth. But we took it a step at a time. First thing we did was adjust just the overall tail gain, which is the P gain in the Icon 2. I make those adjustments in my transmitter. So we got that pretty close. The tail was there was still some, really small high frequency vibrations, but kind of left that for a second so we could address some of the other issues. Just fixing that alone definitely helped, obviously. But then, we were still having some big blowout issues. The tail was blowing out on hard pitch pumps. So although we were kind of adjusting some of the other gains, Dimitri figured out that here on the tail, I was not getting, I didn't have the endpoints fully set for whatever reason. Really don't want to say that was an issue because I did the firmware update, but for whatever reason, it definitely wasn't set. It was, and it was very, very low on one side and very high on the other. So, anyways, I had to adjust that, and I adjusted those endpoints. That helped dramatically. So that was another big issue. I probably wouldn't. Not probably. I definitely wouldn't have figured that out myself. And then I got together with Billy, and we wanted to work on trying to get this heli to be able to fly in rate mode. So that the mechanical setup of the tail was right. We were having a little trouble getting there. We got really, really close, and same issue I've had in the past, which was that I couldn't make this linkage rod any shorter because it had already been this ball link on both sides had been screwed in all the way, and I just couldn't get the, the tail, the nose, or the tail drifting right, turning right, and the nose going left. I just couldn't get it out. But I'm realizing that obviously with the tail, I guess effectively shorter, that made it easier. So we were getting closer, and then, so with all of that, we got relatively close. We were still getting some of those slight movements in the tail, which really bothers me. It just must be like my OCD side, but otherwise it was flying great. The tail was holding on the pitch pump. We had raised the pre-comp to 55 in the Icon 2, and we raised the eye gain by about 5 points from 40 to 45. It was, otherwise it was flying great, and it would have been very flyable, but I still really wanted to get rid of that kind of tail, that slight, oscillation in the tail. Anyways, one of the things that Dimitri suggested before we closed off today was to check the center point of the servo in Icon 2, and I didn't get a chance to do that till I got back home. And when I did that, I realized that here it was not completely 90, and I don't know how I missed these things before, and I think I got away with, because we were flying at low head speeds, it kind of masked everything, and with the higher head speed, these things just come out. So anyways, it was here, and it was 3 clicks of the negative icon in the Icon 2 wizard, which if you have an Icon you'll know. But anyways, so 3 clicks in this direction, which again brings it a little further, which would have helped the raid mode. To be honest with you, I actually pulled the linkage rod. I twisted this out a couple, one full turn. So what I'm thinking now is that in raid mode, it will probably hold now that I've made that adjustment. I haven't been able to test it. I'm hoping to duck out to the field to do a quick test and video for you to show you, but those were the adjustments that are made, and I'm thinking that final adjustment will help that small oscillation, because even though, because the other thing, when I did the repairs, I did check on the bench whether there was any vibrations, and there were none, even at the highest head speed. So anyways, that is what we did. And so we went up. The P gain is pretty high in my Futaba transmitter, or higher than it was anyways. I think I have it at about 77 in there, and under the gyro menu. 77 or 76, I think 76, sorry. But that may change now that I've corrected the center point of this servo, so that may be small adjustment, but the eye gain I have at 45, and the pitch pre-comp at 55. Everything else is default. So we'll see when I fly this to see how it goes, but I just thought I'd kind of give you that quick update, and then I will post a video on the test flight. So if you have any questions, go ahead and hit me up, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.